Hello and welcome to episode 16 of our Timberborn Update 6 Waterbeavers playthrough in Cycle 16, Day 3. Last time, we put all of our hopes into pumpkins, and it turns out that we were deceived by absolutely no one but ourselves. The pumpkins actually, according to our dear mod creator, are not that good of a food. It just seems like that because of how the recipe is set up, which is enormously disappointing. But, you know, life goes on. I'm not going to get rid of the pumpkins. We're just going to have to, continue supplementing with other types of food. But there's still other stuff we have to get to. Not really any reason to be super bummed about that, except I, take a little bit of a pride hit when I thought something that was, actually good turns out to be terrible. But that's the way life goes. We need to do a bunch of stuff today, and I'm going to try my best to get it done. But you know how these things go. It just, it is what it is. One of the things we need to do is consolidate our water pumps and just try to get it set up so that it houses as few beavers as possible while employing as many as possible, which, for our purposes, is going to mean doing more stuff like this, where we have the water pump upgrades on top in more places and not worrying so much about just scattering them everywhere. In addition, not having that many pumps inside this area will mean we can keep pumping with these guys during a drought or a bad tide without running out of water quite so quickly. But before we get to that, since we have the large farmhouse now, which is housing 12 beavers, and it can employ up to 8, we don't have to have these assistant farmers in these double farmhouses everywhere over here, because this farmhouse can actually reach all of this area. And this farmhouse, well, assistant farmhouse, this farmhouse can actually plant all of this by itself and still get to a lot of this stuff. Now, not this rice. So what's going to end up having to happen is the upgrades go away, and then these double farmhouses go away. So that's going to give us a little bit more room to plant stuff, and is also going to, well, first we have homeless beavers to contend with, but we can streamline things a little bit better and try to solve some more problems. So since we have 9 homeless beavers, I think what would be a smart thing to do is come in here to our pit and ladder lodges and get ourselves a hauler tower, which right here will fit quite nicely up on top of this and will give us 6 spaces for beavers and employ 2 beavers as haulers. That will help out tremendously. Just have to get that constructed, and it shouldn't take too terribly long to do that. Just keeping ourselves as situated as we can. Another thing that we probably should have done was, take this tank out and flip the doorway. So I will go ahead and I will give you that satisfaction. Just, flip that way and make that a little bit more palatable, which will give us this space here that we can remove and replace with something else. So we have 10 injured beavers. This is a medical bed for mild disease, of which we have 8 beavers afflicted, or with which, rather. So I'm going to put this here because that's where the rest of these are. This requires, if you don't remember, the bramble flowers to administer some sort of medicinal properties to or whatever. So we are going to need to get some more bramble flowers, and these guys are certainly trying their best, but they're going to need a little bit of help, and I'm not exactly sure how to give it to them. But in the meantime, what we should be focusing on over here is taking care of growing additional food. The pumpkin situation is probably about as good as it's going to be, so we should try, operative term being try, to grow some more stuff, probably cabbages at this point in time. So that is what I will plant here. And then this space here I will also plant cabbages. Except this bit can actually be one more of these pumpkins. We'll see what happens. Just got to get these guys doing what they can do. Make sure both these are marked for planting. And then we can actually employ a couple more beavers here for harvesting. Which, of course, they're going to have to do what they're going to have to do. But they can do whatever they want, whenever they want. This forester here, like I said before, could be replaced with either one more set of pumpkins or I could have one of these irrigation lodges that would keep all of this stuff alive. I don't think for right now that's something we need to super worry about. We'll just let them do what they've got to do. Here, we are supposed to be making tar. We've got a decent bit. There's just so much stuff we gotta make, and you know, it is gonna be what it's gonna be, and there's not too much else we can do about it. Just have to wait. We do, fortunately, have this paper mill operating. We've got 107 sheets of paper here, which is fantastic because we're gonna need those sooner rather than later, most likely. But I'm feeling pretty comfortable now, probably deprioritizing the paper mill, not all the way, but deprioritizing it in case these beavers want to go work somewhere else. We do have this working well here, and we also have 5 of these beavers working as haulers here, so that's added a little bit of quote-unquote manpower, beaver power. Let's turn this Architect's Lodge on and start making scaffoldings again. That will get the rest of these homeless beavers not homeless, and employ the last who was unemployed. So already making some very nice strides here. Good stuff happening, so on, so forth. Yes, we are going to continue planting stuff here. I'm assuming that it's probably just going to be fine to put green peas in. I don't have to worry about whatever else. This farmhouse here, in addition to the large farmhouse, can harvest a few more cabbages. Got some space right here, but I don't want to invest too many resources in here because this could very easily become a bad water, nasty, infested thing very, very quickly. Next thing we need to do, this gatherer flag right here has been paused for a long time, and we don't need it to be here. It does not need to exist, so that can go away. And among many comments, our lovely mod creator has indicated that I should be doing something with the chestnuts, and there's different recipes we can use for those. So, you know, you take a look here, the snack bars, cereal bars, whatever, consume 3 chestnuts to make 22, and everything else that goes into this we're actually producing reasonably. It's just the berries, not so much. We do need to continue acquiring berries for other purposes. It's just one of those things that takes time. It's the way she goes. The sunflower oil, I think, is probably going to be more of a concern moving forward, just because of how much of it we're going to need. And we're out of screw press axles again, so this one is going to have to start making those. It's just, there's a lot to keep up with before you fully automate everything. But the factory is coming soon, friends. It's coming very soon, because we cannot keep going without extra anvils and extra medium cauldrons and all that other stuff that causes us to have to keep switching recipes around. So that's going to be something coming hopefully soon. I do have to get to 300 HP science. And this is, of course, waiting on kimchi, which is waiting on additional bramble flowers. So these guys here, they're getting bramble flowers. It's just not a quick process, and this does grow back quickly enough for this, I think, to probably be fine. But let's give them a little bit of help. Come in here with our dynamite, flatten this all the way out so it can just be super easy, and just let them do what they are going to do. We also have all this space here, like we've been saying, needs to have more crops growing here. So all of this stuff does need to move. We don't have any coal here because we're using all of it. These mines need to move. We talked about it last time. That is going to be something we're going to have to sit down and think about, where we're going to put all of our new mine stuff. And people do keep bringing up the comments, this is a terrible map to play this faction on. Yes, it absolutely is. That's why I picked it. It's supposed to be hard. This lumberjack flag is finito, so let's plant one more thing of pumpkins here. And I'll do one more cabbage there, do some cabbages there. And then this space in here. Remember what we're doing here with the lotuses. We're trying to get nenifars so we can make methane. That's going to be useful for other stuff. The flowers also go into a whole bunch of different things. But this currently is gathering nenifars. Once it has 30, we can make 60 units of methane. And then we can either burn that in an engine or we can use it to make other stuff. But we talked a long time ago a couple episodes ago about how we need to have more space dedicated to the Nennephars. And this little pocket, like right around here, is about the only place on the map where it's not going to have infection from bad water unless we're able to fix or divert or something. And diverting up here is something that is going to be, I'm not going to say impossible, because it definitely isn't, but it's going to involve a little bit of cheese, because there is no there's no floodgate dam that can fit in this 1x2 thing, but the tall and narrow lodge definitely fits. And I'm not going to be afraid to use it. We just have to be ready to actually have this in here and then delete it immediately. So, probably the easiest way to do this is going to be to come in here with some stairs and build ourselves a little structure. We do have platforms. I can research the actual platforms if we feel so inclined, but that's going to be something we're going to have to come up with. We can also use buildings to help us get up there. Like, for example, the Architect's Lodge, allegedly, I've never used it as such, but I've heard it works very well as a big staircase. So, that could be something if we could get it to sit correctly. Again, gotta hide this here. This actually would get us pretty much all the way up where we need to go. And I do need to have another one of these at some point. It's just kind of an unfortunate, you know, way to get in and out of here. But if we're relocating all of these things, that's probably not a bad spot. So I'll tell you what I'll do. So I will start building this guy here. We do have to, you know, have all these different pieces, but I think we can make that happen. Let's find some more spots for our water pumps. And I think probably the easiest thing to do is going to be to come in over here and find a decent spot. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to say right here. We're still kind of close to where we have all of our beavers going. I can put one here, or I can put in a couple of... Oh yeah, you know what? I can't flip these, so this one does have to start here. If I just put... I have so many logs. I got just an absolute ton of logs. I just put in 2 of those there. And then I can put that there, and then I can blast this out. Blast a little bit underneath as well. We do have a decent bit of explosives. Assuming I don't want to have bad water just completely full of this. I think this is fine to just leave like this. Just pump a whole bunch during the wet season and everything's going to be totally fine. But I can go ahead, because I don't want to grow the population too much. Just start with this. Have our water pump upgrade put in there as well. And that is going to be a decent, not a great spot, but a decent spot to put some more stuff in. Put us a medium tank here for water, so they don't have to go super far. That'll keep them busy for a little bit of time. These couple of trees here, we are very full on logs. I'm not going to feel too bad about just destroying them, but we do have to actually give a path back here. So this can go up to the stairs perfectly, just like that. And then we just have to come around this way. I'm just going to mark these to go away. That will solve a lot of problems. And now that brings us up to here, which is going to give us a couple of different options for putting a building here to divert bad water. Or just completely remove it. I haven't unlocked the platforms or the tall platforms or anything yet. We're not really making a lot of science right now, but we can get there relatively quickly, depending on how we want to set stuff up. You can't stack the crappy platforms, but what you can do is you can have the bridges, depending on how you have this set up. You might be able to make it work. Might just be able to make it happen. But I do think by the time we're actually able to get up here, I'm probably just going to go ahead and say, all right, let's unlock these regular platforms. We can stack stuff, whatever, and then put the house in here. Plenty of different things we can do. Also, you know, we have the spiral staircase. If we really get desperate, I can plop this guy, say, right here, and he can just get up to this bit, which would also make it possible to build the building. But remember, to avoid the quote-unquote cheating allegations, we have to be able to actually use the building as a house if it's being used to block water. So we are going to have to, you know, get to work on that. All sorts of stuff to take care of here. Let's B for boom these guys. And we can go ahead and plant those as lotuses. more than doubling our output of nenifars here. That's not the right building. That's also not the right building. Good job. Yeah, it's going to take a while to get there. So as we are continuing to work on improving everything, just let it do what it's going to do. I probably need to have one of these things down here as well. I guess probably also worth, since we are attempting to reclaim most of this land, moving these mushroom growers somewhere else, so this is, you know, farmable, and everything will be just fine there. We're not quite at the spot where that is going to be a huge concern yet. I know the food is still very low, but we're fixing things. It's going to get better. No real reason to be super worried about it yet. Go ahead, beef or boom that. Get rid of those stairs, and that is going to open up a lot more space here. We also have a couple of these blueberries that are, well, they're doing something down here. And these wood-felling planification lodge beavers can't access the blueberries, but the gatherer flag can. So before things get any worse, let's put a staircase right here so that this flag can get to these two bushes, and maybe, just maybe, we'll get a couple more blueberry bushes down here. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but we're probably doing okay. Alright, now we're 17 minutes into the video, and we're still in single time speed, so put this thing on triple. I just want to take care of a little bit of stuff before things got too crazy. You know how this goes. They should be harvesting some of this rice pretty soon. Pretty soon. Again, this one is supposed to be making pumpkin chips. Waiting on sunflower oil, which these guys don't seem to have in spades. Just got a lot of sunflowers not growing super quickly. Probably need to plant a few more. But I was firmly convinced that we were going to get so much more mileage out of the pumpkins that I just said, you know what? Let's get rid of them. It's not going to matter. And you know how that went. So I will regrettably plant a couple more sunflowers here. And then that is just going to be how it's going to be. And I'll put one more set of pumpkins here just as soon as this one sunflower is gone. You got to do what you got to do. That's the way it goes. If we could just get these injured beavers taken care of quicker. We don't have enough half-fermented sake. Yeah, because, you know, we're waiting on... Well, it shouldn't be a problem having water in here. This is supposed to be filled up. So that will probably help. Getting more haulers will always help. But now I got a lot of... Hold on. I got a lot of free beds. And these two are built, which means... okay, I'll tell you what. Here and here, don't need. Here, don't need. So that will give us a little bit more space to have water without it being pumped. This, of course, will also be removed. In fact, we'll just go ahead and do that right now. If you were sleeping, sorry about it. But get these guys working in here. Should help things just a touch. And it's also going to keep most of our water pumping in the same area. Now, during a bad tide, this is all going to be completely inoperable. That's just the way it goes. That's the way of the Waterbeavers. Until we can manage to fix stuff, that's just how it is going to be. They're still working on demolishing that. Day 7 comes, no warning yet, so that is looking good. Not feeling too bad. Kimchi is helping. These guys are doing good work, but they could go a little bit faster. So let's give them that opportunity there. We're still working on screw press axles, so this is really not working. But, you know, that's the way it goes. Just gotta do what you gotta do. Nenifar's getting planted there, looking pretty good. We've got 18 explosives. I probably do need to have them stop stockpiling so much stuff here. What else would we need them to make? Now, barreled water. Let's slow this down again for a little bit. Barreled water is one of those useful things that we can put into stuff. Like, for example, the irrigation lodge can take 1 barreled water and it'll last 16 days. And we can also put a barreled water in the irrigation lodge for the decontamination recipe, and that'll last 13 days with 10 of those pollution resistance factors, which if you extrapolate your math, I know I'm so great at math, 32 hours, or a day and a third, from 1, it evens out. It makes sense. It's just a matter of what do you want to spend your beaver labor on. So while that does seem very appealing, I don't think it's worth doing right now because we do have technically kind of a shortage of beaver labor, and it just isn't necessary. But we do want to make sure that these guys are completely full up on pollution resistance factor, which, for what it is, they're doing fine. Probably need to put one of those down here, which I don't know exactly where would make sense. Maybe in this corner right here, because I do want this to be taken care of. Let's just take a quick look here. Based on radii. Yeah, I need that to go further over, so here might actually make more sense. Or I can put it... Yeah, I'll put it right here. I'll put it right there. We're only going... Well, we're not only going to lose. We're going to lose 5 of these things here. But let's go ahead and unplant them before they get replanted. They'll go in this corner. These are... Oh, good. They're about to be harvested. But that's going to allow us to use all of this for sunflower growing again, which is what we should be growing here. Definitely what we should be growing here. And then we can move these mushroom growers, because this will be, you know, farmable land. Move these somewhere else. And all of that is stuff that does, in fact, just take time. So we do have to have a little bit of patience for that. But that is not going to be in short supply now, is it? Very interested to see what's going to come next for the seasons, though. So this now is going to give us 3 more beaver slots. I guess that is fine. I did get rid of all of these pumps here, so now this is over there. We have 5, 10, we have 13 pumps, effectively. We have 151 beavers. If you remember your old school water beaver math, or I guess just technically timberborn math, we probably should have 15 of these. But that is going to require us to put in 1 dynamite here, which will give us enough space for 1 more house water pump, and then 1 more assistant, helper, whatever thing up here. And that's going to be a big difference. It's going to make a lot of stuff happen for us. So now this entire area here is actually, you know, gatherable, which means that if the blueberry bushes spread a little bit more, then this will be able to take care of that. The science is massively improving now that we have other stuff taken care of. Kimchi, obviously, you know, being a little bit of a problem, but we'll get there. We will absolutely get there. We'll be just fine. Just have to, you know, take it as it comes and not lose too much focus. A little bit is probably unavoidable, but it is what it is. Now, other stuff involving chestnuts. We do have the cooking house that we can unlock. It uses basically the same recipes as the cooking tent, but it is, you know, a house that you can build modularly instead of just one of these things. The mechanized kitchen house, though, that's where it's at. It requires power, but it is a massively, massively better building. This deluxe stew with the heart on it, this is like the ultimate food, or one of the ultimate foods for the water beavers. And if we can start making this stuff, then that is tremendous. That's going to be great. There was, I can't remember exactly where it is, but there was like a great cooking tent. It might have been removed. But let's check our tool finder. I'll just put in cooking, if I can spell. My God. Okay, you have the cooking house, cooking tent, and then district center, cooking district. Oh yeah, I got to figure out how that works. I've been assured that it's not complicated, but I can absolutely promise you, I'm going to find a way to screw it up, and then people are going to get really mad. So I'm going to have to play with that in my free time, and you know, figure that out at some other point that is not during a video. But taking a look at the rest of this here, I think, yeah, we can go ahead and blast these 3 squares out. There's not going to be any leaking occurring there. They'll give us a little bit more cabbage. And of course, once I build this thing here, that's going to help a lot. I've got room for more pumpkins. That can go right there. And more space for nenifars. Just trying to, you know, keep things moving along. I've got space here. Boy, this is a really inefficient path layout. That is, that's pretty bad. Let's block that out, and I can just have that path come here, and then I have all this space available for planting rice. That is, that's going to be the best I can do right now. Just get that, yeah, all this can be taken care of. I don't think I can plant anything underneath here. I don't think it's going to let me. Oh, I was completely wrong. That will... Okay, well that's all the rest I can put in, but you know what? Every little bit counts, and of course these guys can get in here to help harvest things. Just gotta let them do what they're gonna do. We can continue taking this back. This is all, you know, poisoned, wild bramble, whatever, that couldn't be reached. That is the extent of that thing. That's the extent of that thing, so... It is what it is. This is also stuff that we can blast out if we feel so inclined. And I've got enough dynamite, we could probably do it, but we probably want to focus on this other stuff too. Just to get everything completely taken care of. Let's get this other pump in. And the water pump upgrade as well. Please, please, thank you. That's going to help out quite a bit. And I got to get my science up, because I know we absolutely have to have a factory. Absolutely have to have one. Because we're going to lose power if we get a drought. And I'd rather not have to worry about that. We can always come back later for the platforms and everything, but let's just make one more cursory check here. I have the tools, I have the tar, I have the gears, I have the scrap metal. Just about. We can get it. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Definitely have the clay. I don't have the fasteners, because I think we used some of those to make that Architect's Lodge. Planks are also looking really low because this is out of crude... See, this is why we have to have a factory. Out of crude saw blades, and this is going pretty slow. So, scrap metal. Probably easiest way to get over here is going to be doing that. We can also, if we really don't care about our beavers, we can send them in here. Or, the least amount of suffering, but it's definitely still suffering. Least amount is going to be to, Tell you what. Let's do that. Let's do one of these numbers. Then I can have this actually be a lot more accessible by blasting that out, so then they can come over here. That's going to help. But we don't need them to actually go down in the stink. I just have to be able to get across this. And falling water doesn't really seem to do anything, so 2x1, put a 3x1 in here. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Try to keep the beavers out of the nasty. Just let them do what they got to do. And we can move right along. That should make things substantially better. Now, I also do know that I removed the scavenger flag, but that is easy to put back in. We do have this gravity battery that, despite being super short, still has a pretty decent amount of power stored in it relative to what we're actually using it for. Just have to be careful. Just have to be careful. Alright, these two sunflowers here are taking a long time to grow. I kind of want to just get rid of them. But I also know that we really need them, and we can't really afford to, do much without those guys. So, B for boom this. Get some cabbages in place here. I guess I'll go ahead and plant cabbages here as well, just because we have to be able to do it. Things progressing here. The food situation is definitely not ideal. Again, sunflower oil is massively holding us up. That was a mistake on my part, trying to rely on this too much. But we don't really have a lot of mushrooms either. And I think the mushrooms are a problem because we don't have sawdust. And we don't have sawdust because I had to turn this into the log gnawing station. We do have a screw press axle here, so I'm going to put this back onto just straight up sawdust. It's going to get better, folks. It just... there's a lot we got to take care of. And it is not a fast process. Just keep your head down. Do what you got to do. And just make it work. That's all we can do. beaver boom that. Plant a couple more of these guys here. Slowly making that better. We still only have 9 nenuphars here because these take a super long time to grow. I know we don't have any flowers yet because we don't have the whatever here. It's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. We're going to get it taken care of. Okay, yeah, that should still be working kind of okay. Are they working on this? No, they are not. Planks are a problem because we don't have the crude saw blades. And we don't have that because this is taking a very, very long time. But at least we'll have one. They can get back to work on that. That should be fine. This storage for water is, you know, not really a great spot for this to go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take those out. And this is going to be probably an okay spot for us to put another barrel for fermentation. And that, of course, will still be kimchi. We just have to start making more and more of these bramble flowers, which you might notice we don't have a whole lot going on, but we do have some up here, which is going to give us the option to have these harvested if we can just get one more spot here. So I think what's going to make the most sense is get rid of these 2 trees. And I'll put a path, and then I will put a gatherer flag here. Help take care of as much of that as I can. Just gotta go with what you gotta go with. They got lots of stuff to do. We can't really keep them too much. Metal fasteners also coming in high demand for the water pump upgrades that I've been so hell-bent on getting made. But yeah, we gotta have before we actually have the factory complete. Which, by the way, we still don't have 300 science. We do still have to have 25 of these things. So that's kind of dependent on this getting taken care of. I'm assuming they're, you know, actually doing work on this. They're building these first, which is, well, fine, I suppose. Everything just takes time, folks. Alright, still making stuff work there. I mean, the beavers aren't starving. It's just rough. It's real rough. The kimchi is definitely not helping here. We got tons of cabbages in the fermentation barrels. Just have to have these guys gathering all this stuff. And if they're hungry, then that's definitely not doing anybody any favors. Definitely, definitely, definitely not. What are you going to do? Just got to let them do what they're going to do. And that's pretty much it. I guess we probably don't need to super worry about it yet. Okay, that is waiting on stuff. How long is this going to... I guess this is probably fine. They do have another one in there. Yeah, I'm going to have to put this back on metal fasteners because those are just so important for everything. Absolutely everything. We've got 14 injured beavers. 14! And that, of course, requires to have fermented sake, which we have not had because that's also the wrong building. Have not had because we don't have enough rice. But these guys should be gathering all of this, and I don't have enough. I don't have enough beavers for it. You can consolidate all you want, but if you're not able to make everything work, then, well, you're not able to make everything work. They're at least making progress there, which is good. All right, day 10. We're going to find out today? No? Good. It gives me a few more days to try to get the rest of this taken care of. So what's our damage here? It's the kimchi, of course it is. Don't tell me I don't have a single batch of kimchi available, because I have to have it for the, you know, regular method too. I just need 5 more science, man. Come on. Come on. Let me get those bramble flowers. These guys have to, yeah, they got to get stuff going, man. Got to get a little bit faster. Just a touch. At least we have plenty of water. Well, technically. We're getting the pumpkins. We're attempting to... Okay, well, they're just eating the pumpkins. I guess that's to be expected. Just give me this kimchi, man. Give me... God, bramble flowers, come on. I don't really have that many more options. Okay, good. This is taken care of, and I was worried I was going to forget about it. Gather flag does not gather those. The lumberjack flag gets the bramble flowers. I always forget what the building is actually called. But now, friends, Now we can actually gather all of the brambles. I'm just going to have this only doing brambles because, well, we need the bramble flowers. And eventually we can get rid of the rest of these too, but that is going to be what this guy is going to be working on. All by himself. We got to have that sake here so we can have everything. Just needs some more rice. Okay, they did start making a batch, so that will help here. We do technically only have 3 of these. But, again, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? 88% there, 53% there. We're making progress, folks. It's just not super fast. Not super fast. Food is still bad, but it's not destitute. The beavers are still technically not hungry. The mushroom situation, though. Mushroom situation is not not particularly enviable. Because this one is waiting on... Oh. It's not waiting on anything. It just has to... It says it can function without workers. Why is it... Okay, well. I'm just going to trust that that's actually okay. It's got all the materials, so it is... Okay, that's working. That's working. Primitive Ironworks doing Primitive Ironworks activities. This is now connected, which means we can come in with a scavenger flag that I can put up here. Probably would be a little bit easier. Get everything connected. That's looking there. This is looking here. Now they have access to more of that. I know it's not the most, you know, best use. There you go. Now there are other buildings we can build. We do have other options, but considering where we are and what we have access to, I guess this is probably about as good as it's going to get. We should just be thankful that we have that opportunity. But I'm still waiting for my kimchi. Still waiting. Give me those bramble flowers. Come on. Come on. I know you've got them. I know you got them. Like, this is 3 days. 3 days to get the kimchi to have 5 more science points. Because I really wanted to get this done before we lost power on the wheels. It's just what it is. And these guys here, they're not... The Nennephars aren't even going here. They're eating them. They're eating them because it's a food now. Don't ask me why it's a food. I would not have made it a food, but now it's a food, so that's what we have to deal with. It is what it is. This guy, I don't think, can reach down in here. So, this is basically only reachable by this farmhouse. We need to have a staircase here. Probably the only way we're going to be able to make that happen is to blast out one of these cabbages. So, but I need the cabbages, so I think what's going to happen is I just unplant that, and we'll blast it out, we'll put staircase in there. It is what it is. We got so many injured beavers because we can't medicate them with... Of course, this isn't even making any. Oh, it is in the beds, though. Or a bed. That one has 19, this one has... Well, it's better than nothing. I guess I can't really complain. Or shouldn't really complain. I need my kimchi, man. Come on. Okay, 23%. Looking good. Still waiting on more bramble flowers, but this guy... Where's he at? Oh, you're sleeping. You're exhausted, starving, and dehydrated. Well, you can make better choices than that. I implore you, for the benefit of everyone, make better choices, please. Please, do me the kindness. All right, so we have a choice to make. It's going to be at least 2 more days before I have any more science coming through here. We have the rest of the materials. I'm going to take 2 beavers out of here. In fact, I'm going to take 3 beavers out of here. Because I need to be prepared. We're going to find out if this is a bad tide coming in. We're going to accelerate Operation Stop Bad Stuff from coming through here and build stuff. If it's a drought, we're not going to worry about it. But if we do get that bad water warning, I'm going to have to just... I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to come in here and spend 100 science points on the platforms so I can get up in here. If not, things are going to be a whole lot easier. We can just get into the... whatever the factory thing's called. Because bad water is still going to be powering this stuff, and it's going to be able to be useful. But you know how this goes. Gotta have more sunflower seeds. Gotta do it. This is waiting on like a little bit less than a day to get that taken up. That's fine. We are gathering scrap metal. We should be making more of these metal fasteners, but they're getting used super fast. We just have too many injured beavers. Way too many injured beavers. So if they can stop drinking the half-fermented sake and instead use it for medicinal purposes like it's supposed to be, then we'll be in better shape. But you know how it goes. And there's probably a very strong argument to be made that I don't need to be waiting for this one sunflower to be disappeared so I can build something else here. That I'm doing horrible disservice to everything by, you know, not doing it a specific way, and that is, I guess, the way it is. Well, I'm going to put another medical bed for injuries here. I'm just trying to maximize what I got, folks. One bit at a time. Well, at least most of the rest of this seems to be doing pretty well. Piece by piece. Don't forget we got these 3 over here making the poison mushrooms, and they don't have enough sawdust because we don't have enough hauler beavers to take care of everything, and boy howdy is there a whole lot of stuff we got to do with that. There are extensions we can make to a lot of these buildings that will allow us to employ haulers on there, but you know, it's a process, man. It's slow. you got to be able to just you know, make stuff work. Okay, drought approaching. We don't need to worry about damming this off. That's fine. But what that also means is we're not going to have any power at all, which not great. Not great. That's honestly part of the reason why I wanted to have engines. But more than a few of you seem to be pretty against that idea, so maybe we'll hold on to that for a while. We basically at this point can only have gravity batteries as our final stand, so to speak. And again, it's water beavers. Nothing is easy, and it's never going to be easy. The only thing we can really do is put a single gravity battery basically right here, if I can get it up high enough, and that's not going to last very long either. We don't have the requisite materials to do too much else, and I don't really know what I could even put this on top of either, because all of these buildings that block water would also cause these water wheels to work less. The only thing we could really do would be to put it on top of 2 tall platforms here, which would not block water, but would, you know, cause me to have to spend 125 science, which I don't particularly want to do. Keep in mind, the scrambled and all the other flavors of crappy platforms cannot be stacked. I could put something on top of these, but then I have to be able to access that, and that's just not working tremendously great. So, the one thing we can do is go ahead and come in here with our irrigation lodge, which will house additional beavers, but will also keep a lot of these crops irrigated and, most importantly, repel all the contamination, and that's going to give us, oh, I don't know, 30 additional spots here that we can plant more stuff, like, say, sunflowers. I think that's very much worth doing. Just got to be able to do stuff. And that's going to give us more room to put pollution resistance factor and stuff, and so on and so forth. Strong alcohol, completely full up here. Tar is not completely full up, because I guess... Oh, sunflower oil. Yep, who would have thunk it? Let's switch this over to brain-boosting salts. That'll stop using so much of our sunflower oil. And these guys will run out soon anyway. Alright, I'm concerned that the kimchi has disappeared after this was already in process here. If this doesn't show up here in a little bit, then that's going to be a problem. Man, I cannot catch a break with these kimchi things, man. Well, Bunu over here is maybe trying hard to get more of this taken care of, but it's only so much you can do. So, gonna need a friend over here. Make this go a little bit quicker. And maybe should also have one of these lodges here. This probably could use some more workers even, but I don't really know what else we'd want to do with this. All these building upgrades kind of confuse me a little bit. I mean, that's not the fault of the mod, I'm just smooth-brained. But the triangle buildings can have all this crazy stuff appended to them, but this is not a triangle building, so it's clearly not going to work. If we had built the Lumberjack's barn, which is a triangle building, then you could add stuff to that, and then there's other upgrades. We got a forestry building that will employ other stuff. Haulers as well can go on top of one of those, and I built those before in other playthroughs, but we're not really in a spot where that's going to be a viable option. So again, all we can do, we have a drought coming in, just try to get food fixed, definitely get more water in. I'm going to say let's go ahead and finish this pump upgrade, because this will be pumpable for a pretty good amount of time. At least a couple people seem really, really motivated to get me to replace this with one of those floodgate dams, but I really don't think it's necessary. This does just fine. Yeah, just the food continues to be a problem. But now that this is built, we actually have a chance of reclaiming a bunch of this land. This is already set to be sunflowers. Should be okay. Should be okay. Just have to do what we have to do. Get that set to priority by haulers here. 63% of the way to having that taken care of. There's still some here, there's some there, there's none there. Hopefully we can get this taken care of soon. I know it's frustrating to watch the glacial pace of advancement here, but that's the way she goes, man. Bramble flowers are going to be the death of me. These guys cannot harvest quickly enough. Just cannot do it. So as soon as we get pollution resistance factors set up, ready to go here, then we should be able to reclaim a bunch of this. We do have sunflowers coming in, which means we can have more juice. And this is on a gravity battery, so that will keep going. Yeah, we're reclaiming slowly. Slowly but surely. Need to find somewhere to put all this mushroom stuff. But I'm thinking it's going to be more important for us to start growing more stuff here than anything else. Remember that this blockage here is something that can be replaced with actual buildings. We can transit across it. We just have to, you know, have it set up properly. Very, very slow process, but it can be done, especially during a drought, because then that blockage can go away, and I can have buildings come all the way out here pretty easily. Hopefully. Hopefully. It'd be easy that way. But now that we have more of this stuff in place, we should be doing alright. Just got to get more stuff in here. Got to let them do what they got to do. Make more sawdust, make more of this stuff, so on and so forth. I think it's probably... if I ever get 300 science, I want to get that factory started. But it all depends on the kimchi. It's all about the kimchi. We still don't have enough. In fact, we don't even have any cabbages here. What a waste. That is a big shame. There's all this rice, too, we can't do anything with. So I'll tell you what, let's get this dynamite in here. Having this rice accessible by this one here is going to help tremendously. Just gotta get it done. Gotta get it done. And we have to be able to stop getting beavers so injured. That is just absolutely killing us. I know we do have the clinic, but that is just so far off. It is wildly, incredibly far off. Oh. I forgot we were researching the beaver washing machine blueprint. That's good. It is also still super far away, but, you know, that is what it is. B for boom. Come in here with a staircase. That should be a priority. That will help out a lot, and we can make more stuff. I probably should have another fermentation barrel. Do I need to have... Yeah, I'll take this out. I don't think we're going to need to cry about that, but I'll let them come grab it. Then I think we're going to have to move this cooking tent so I can put another one of these fermentation barrels here. I don't want to do a house yet. But we will get there. We will get there just fine. I also probably... See, like, this guy right here is probably fine. I don't know that we really need to have the farms right here. We might be better served with a single large farmhouse and not these guys here. That'll allow us to employ a lot more beavers, but we'll also house a lot of beavers. So maybe, because this is 9. These 3 are 9 beavers housing, but it's only 4 beavers working. We got some stuff to think about. And this storage up here is really poorly optimized. We probably should be blasting this flat or flatter and upgrading our different storage buildings to be stackable. But again, lots to do. Lots to do, so little time. At least this is working. Now these guys... Oh, here they go. Here they go. Immediately go and get the rice. Very good. Very good. Water-wise, we got 1,400. The food is improving a lot. They're eating the kimchi, but now at least we can make some more of this. We're going to have our 299 science, because it comes in 4s. But that is hopefully going to go just a little bit better. We have the ability to get the rest of this, so I guess that's fine. Yeah, this will put me at 303. Don't trust, etc. I don't even know anything else about that band except that one song. Alright, so we have the materials to build this, minus the planks, because this obviously cannot do anything if it doesn't have crude saw blades. Like, it is what it is. This isn't going to be operable anyway when this is, you know, idle, so we do have a little bit of time to catch up. But man, Waterbeavers, man, that's the way it goes. That is just the Waterbeavers experience. All right, 8-day drought. 8-day drought. That is A-okay. We're looking pretty good. No huge complaints. But now we have a chance, folks, because this is no longer flooded, which means there's no power here, but we do have the gravity battery. That is working out nicely. Let's go ahead, take these out, and then demolish all of these blockages, and we're going to replace that. Take a look at the cooking house. It's 3 by 2, but it can have a lot of other stuff going for it, and it plugs up space, and you can walk on top of it. So I think if we're careful about how we lay this out, I can actually put this right about here, or here, facing the other way, which would still take up a little bit of space, but don't forget we have other options too. I can put it on this side and then just block this off with some other building, and that would be tremendously, tremendously helpful. We'd have all that space back, and we'd still be able to make plenty of stuff. This basically just replaces the tent, like I said. But it also has other recipes as well, like the spicy soda, which we don't have the bramble flowers to do anything with this yet. But spicy soda is an ingredient in some other recipes. We can make the lotus flower tea if we had lotus flowers, which we don't. But there's still the recipe for the cereal bars, which is good, and there's the recipe for fried rice, which is not something we can make in the cooking tent. And fried rice is really good. Again, we don't have lotus flowers, but you look at all these ingredients: 5 units of rice, 1 lotus flower, 2 mushrooms, 2 cabbages, 2 green peas, 2 units of sunflower oil, 5 units of water, and 2/10 of a log. In 2 hours, you get 22 fried rice. That's pretty good. Again, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. The one thing we can't do at this exact moment is build this because we don't have the medium cauldron. But when the factory gets built, we can make additional medium cauldrons with only some coal and scrap metal, which we know we have access to scrap metal. It's just slow. So that is going to be something that's going to be kind of on the back burner a little bit. So what do we do since we can't put anything here? We can put in temporary housing, or we can just say, you know what, we're not going to put the cooking houses here. We're just going to keep that as an option for something else. And instead, we can come in with the triple watertight lodge that will employ 5 beavers as haulers, with the 2nd story entrance, and just come right like this, and then put another one over there, and then they just can't pass through here, but that's okay because they already have that. That is probably, for right now, the smarter thing to do, except we don't have 35 planks. We can still make planks by hand or by mouth, but they're very, 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 very slow. The other thing we can do is we have these hauler lodges, which have side entrances, and that is going to be probably the fastest way to do this because it doesn't have any plank requirement. So if I just put this guy, say, right here, That is where that's going to come in. And then all we have to do is put something else right here. It could be another one of these regular lodges with a beaver working as a hauler. And then we also have the ability to get across very easily. It's not like the most perfect thing ever, but it is an option that we have. Actually, before we build this, maybe what we should do is have the entrance be up top here. Have this bottom one just be a tower segment. Now that does also, remember, have 6 beavers each. But as we start removing some of these other things that are residential jobs, then that's going to make things just a little bit better. It's complicated, right? It's Waterbeavers. It's a very, very complicated, convoluted mod with suffering as its main purpose. So, but we absolutely must have haulers. That is non-negotiable. So, seeing that, I'm going to go ahead and just put a haulers tower here, and I'm going to put the haulers with the side door here. Get connected to, come on. Click. Why can I not? Oh, is that because that's facing the wrong way? Rotate that way. Maybe that'll be slight. There we go. That's going to house 12 beavers, which, yes, we do still have 2 free beds right now, but it's going to employ 4 haulers, and most importantly, they can go up, they can go down, we can have something else coming out this other side, we can go that way, and it's infinitely stackable. And if I can figure out where the stupid thing is, the 4-way district center can go on top of this if we needed to put another one in. That just leaves this space here. Again, not going to be a tremendous problem. We can just pop in a simple building here and no one will be wiser. Just real easy. Super, super simple, just like this. And that will also have 1 beaver working there. It doesn't say, I guess it's a hauler because it's plus 200%. So that's fine. 3 inhabitants. We'll have to trim stuff from somewhere else, but remember that these assistant farmers also work as housing. So we got options. We got stuff we definitely need to optimize, but this is probably the best way to handle this at this current time. I know someone's absolutely screaming at their computer to just get on with it already. The mechanized kitchen house, friends, is 4x2, and if we had power easily over here, this would be the smart thing to do, but again, it has the medium cauldron that we cannot do anything with. So this is what we're working with right now, mostly chosen because we don't have planks, and I really wanted to go ahead and get this operating. That's my rationale. If you don't like it, that's fine, but that's what we're doing. That's basically what I have to work with here. This Architect's Lodge is and has been paused for a while. That's fine. We're just going to leave it the way it is. Just trying to see if there's anything else I can reasonably pause. We're making scaffoldings here. I haven't even researched it yet, though. So for the time being, I'm going to pause this. Just to, make things make as much sense as they can. It's very much to my benefit to, have these further than 5 in a row here, but it can only do what you can do. Liquid Storage House was a good choice here. Triple Watertight Lodge was a very good choice here. Again, it just is what it is. What are we making here? Okay, 97% of the way to crude saw blades. Probably should make a couple more of those. But the scrap metal is not coming quickly enough. We do have some. But those haulers, again, you can never have too many haulers. Very, very, very apparent that you can never have too many haulers. It is what it is. So this guy's going to have to be connected here. Very easy. I have to replace these stairs. This is not accessible by anything else. So probably what I should do is I should replace this with a staircase. That's going to be the most pain-free, not completely pain-free, most pain-free way to do that. Then that one can go away, and then this one can get replaced somehow with something else. Not a lot of great options here. But there are other ways to get over here. It's just kind of circuitous. But they can still do it. Okay, that's in place. That means that's gone. This probably should be a little bit more of a straight line. But it is what it is. Circuitous pathing, go. Put that there. Now I've got all this extra space. I'm going to plant sunflowers because why not? We need to have more sunflowers. I know the food is less than ideal, but we're doing what we can, folks. Doing what we can. This isn't going to flood here, so that's fine. 4%. I probably should have more than one of these doing that, but again, what can you do? What can you do? I've got space here to put in some more cabbage. Almost certainly would be smart to do that. Got science coming out in here. The kimchi again. It's these bramble flowers, man. Gotta have more bramble flowers, which means I'm probably going to have to put a housing lodge up here, and I really don't want to do that. I got 10 vacancies. Who can I pause? Or what can I pause, rather, that has beavers living in it? Because I need all these buildings, man. So for right now, the sawmill and the paper mill can definitely both get paused because we're not using the power. That will stem our growth. But we have to remember to turn those back on. Alright. Let's check our factory conditions again. Planks are and will probably still be a problem, but we've got all the pieces minus the scrap metal, so let's go ahead and pop this thing in here and be... Oh, see, this is the part where I have to... I gotta figure out why this is like this. It's such a pain in the butt. I guess you can't place it when you have a path here. Oh, come on, man. What is this caught on? What in the world is this caught on? Don't tell me it's this one wild bramble here. That is ridiculous. No, that wasn't... What? Alright. Alright, what gives? Boy, I sure hope that mute worked when I had to sneeze. What in the heck is the deal with this thing, man? Look, we've been over this. This worked before. It doesn't want to now. Why? Why is that? Why are you the way that you are? Like, there's nothing. There's nothing in the footprint. There's absolutely nothing in the footprint. This will go here easy. I know they're not going to build it there, but there is nothing in that footprint. It is 3 blocks by 4 blocks. There's nothing there. Here. 4 blocks, 3 blocks, unless it's counting these, like, outlying bits of this, which can easily be removed. Why can I not get rid of the path underneath this? I don't know, there's something seriously messed up with this, man. I really do not know. Do not understand why this does not fit. Is it mad because it has to go next to another building? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Is it mad because there's a staircase here? That also doesn't make any sense. If I get rid of that, it lets me build it. But why? Is it because this pipe sticks out like a tiny bit? No, it doesn't stick out at all. So I cannot build the stairs here. You hear me furiously clicking. Why? Why? What the heck am I supposed to do about this? Like, I can put the path in here, but I don't have... I don't have letters, and I'm not going to. I don't have the science for it. So what is the damage with this? I'm going to have some sort of super convoluted nonsense to get up here. Just because of the way that this wants to play. Well, I mean, at the very least it will work. But man, is that annoying. Ladders are going to be my only hope. Alright, well, they can start making it. I guess it's fine. It is what it is. Just going to have to choose our recipe. The anvil is probably the most crucial need, so we can have another one of those, what do you call it? But that requires 100 scrap metal. That's going to take a long time to get. But we could prioritize it if we had to. We already have Oh no, I got something on my glasses and I can't see. That's nice. That didn't work. Please hold. Alright, now I can actually see again. That was smart. I also didn't pause the game, so hopefully nothing bad happened. Seems like we're okay. Yeah, it's going to have to be the anvil. It's absolutely going to have to be the anvil, but that is not going to get taken away until I get rid of the what do you call it? So, yeah, very scientific term there. So I guess I'm going to have to I'm going to have to let him keep making metal fasteners for a little bit. I'm assuming they picked up most of them and are bringing them over here. I mean, we have another 5.5 days until this is actually going to be usable, so I guess we don't really have to worry about it. Just trying to plan ahead as much as we can. This, of course, is waiting on scrap metal. We have crude saw blades. I have at least one. This building is paused. And it has 3. Okay. All right. We, well, I can't make any more until I have another one of these buildings, so maybe I should just let them keep making these. Let's address this problem with the addition of a couple more of these scavenger flags. Just gonna get as much of this done as we can. But probably, you know, we're probably looking okay. We got more haulers now. That's an improvement. It definitely is. We've got more sunflowers. We need to replace the mushroom growers that we got rid of, but those have to have somewhere to go. And honestly, the only thing I can really think of doing at this exact point in time is just building a bunch of platforms with all of this wood that we're not even using and just have this stuff go right over here. So if I were to do that, I would need to have here. That would be, and also would allow me to, you know, use a little bit of this space for planting, but not too much. So if I have one here, then I would have to have another one here. Yeah, so that would be 2 there. This would be for access. That would be 2 there. They also can't reach this right now because, of course not. This is at 96%. When this gets to 100, I will demolish it, and then they can come in and build all this. I know it's suboptimal. It is what it is. This is just what I have access to at this point in time. It's probably going to get ripped out, but you know how it goes. All right, 0%. And gone. Come in here and build. We have so much stuff you guys can build. And then mushroom growers. Obviously, the GMO growing lab is a goal eventually, but that requires a degree that I do not have. This can also just be set like that. I guess that's fine. If we had sunflower seeds, we could get more oil. That does not seem to be a tremendous priority. Things are working here. Water is still looking good. We're still suctioning water out of here. But it's probably time to go ahead, pause the water pump upgrades, and those of you who've been around a while, you remember the absolute agony of raising up all of these snorkels because I don't want to suck any more water out of here. And we just have to remember that we have to put these back. But I need this water to still be here for irrigation purposes, and it's going to be gone sooner rather than later. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at. Just got to let it happen how it's going to happen, and that's fine. Just bring in all these logs here, build all this stuff. We can continue going this way, and we can get across to here. It's where we're at. It's what we have to work with. I promise I'm doing the best I can here. So this is... Why is this... Oh, it doesn't have bad water. Tell you what. I can afford to have a couple beavers over here bucketing bad water out of the bad water bucketing posts. So that should work okay. Things are progressing nicely enough. More scrap metal here. It's probably mostly going to this, which, understandable. Most of the rest of the materials are there, with the exception of the planks that are currently not being made, because I don't have any power. And this is not even making sawdust because it's full. So guess what? Now we can make planks, except we can't because the sawdust is full. We have storage for sawdust, or I thought we did. See, this game gets hard, man. They have to be able to build all this garbage. Gotta be able to build it. And now we have hungry beavers, which is even worse, because now they won't work. Oh well, what can you do? We have 18 nenifars in here. We still need another 12. Rice is doing rice things. Chestnut beer is doing chestnut beer things. Kimchi is not kimchi-ing nearly enough. Got 150 cabbage. I'm gonna pause this cooking tent so they can start eating the cabbage. Gotta keep the beavers alive. That is the most important thing. That's all we can do. I cannot do anything with my chestnuts. There's not a recipe I can use. All the recipes that use chestnuts need something else besides making beer, and that is, unfortunately, inaccessible to us at this point in time. We can still make rice balls, though. Everybody loves rice balls. Not really, but it is what it is. Still making scaffoldings. I probably don't need to have this operating. Yeah, we'll just pause that. That'll help a little bit. Just a little bit. 3.5 days. I think this water is going to evaporate anyway. But dying of hunger. Stop that. Stop that. Don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna have to pause the library, and they're gonna have to start eating all. Yeah, those berries disappeared immediately. Gotta have more berries, folks. Gotta have more berries, and we're not gonna have any more because I can't plant them until I have a degree. I can grow them super, super far off in the future, in a hydroponic farm. Wait, you can't do berries in these? I thought you could. Okay, no, that's another building. What building is it that allows you to grow berries? Like, besides the one that allows you to plant berries. I'm not talking about that. Is it one of these... See, I don't even remember. Maybe it disappeared. There was one of these, like, crazy buildings that had, like, a whole bunch of, like, food stuff. I don't remember what... Like, the buffet thing? It's definitely not science. Village structures? Who knows? I guess that's one of those things that got removed. The wine cellar, if you were curious, allows you to, well, make wine. It also makes half-fermented sake a lot faster, but it requires a bachelor's in agronomy, which we can't make unless we have the ENS. We can't make the ENS unless we have so on and so forth. We have to have a lot of stuff to get to that. The Mechanics Lodge is halfway to having a set of washing machine blueprints, which is good. After that, we'll probably need to, you know, do literally anything else with this, but now I have 8 beavers who aren't working. Why is that? I didn't think I paused that many jobs. Okay, so this is full of sawdust, full of paper, doesn't need to be making nitroglycerin. Let's pause it, why not? Take all that stuff out. Sawdust can be used to make mushrooms. I really thought they were going to be building these platforms a lot faster, but it appears the beavers are so hungry it doesn't matter. These are just poison mushrooms. This is the slow recipe for regular mushrooms. Now we have no food, but they can't make anything anyway because there's no bad water. So guess what? Emergency quick mushroom time for all 3 of these. Just get that going as fast as we can. Try to save these beavers from yet another misstep over here. This doesn't need to be here. That doesn't need to be here. This can be easily some more cabbages. Real quick, real simple. Just start making mushrooms, boys and girls. Now this is out of power, which is what it is, I guess. Just load it up with sunflower seeds, because we're going to have that to make everything else. I hope these beavers don't all starve to death. Oh my god, there's so many pumpkins in this. Alright, well I did say I was going to move it around. Let's do a little bit of damage control here. They can grab these cabbages out of the way. Do I have pumpkin storage? I might not. Then they're not going to be able to eat it. Yeah, I don't have anywhere to put... I don't have room to put storage anywhere, man. I got no room for storage. They can't do anything with the pumpkins unless they can stick them somewhere. Where in the heck am I going to put pumpkin storage? I don't have room for it. This is chestnuts. And I can't put it here yet because I'm trying to relocate stuff. There is a method to the madness. It's not a good one, but there is one. I guess just right here is going to have to be pumpkin storage. There it is. If they can build that, then they can get those pumpkins offloaded. They can eat those, and oh, these beavers dying of hunger. Come on, man, stop it. 65%. Yeah, as soon as this one's done, I have to remove it and take it out to rotate and move it this way. Get some stuff cleaned up. It would not be Waterbeavers without suffering. Would not be Waterbeavers without the suffering. This is now completely dried out. That is regrettable, but it is what it is. These sunflowers aren't going to die for a couple days anyway. Alright. Somebody, come get these pumpkins out of here. You know you want to. There you go. There you go. Come snack on the pumpkins. It's going to be okay. You don't have to worry about it anymore. 80%. Come on, go faster. At least we have that. Alright, so now that we've kind of maybe averted some sort of disaster here, we're still making planks. We are still trying to build the factory. Oh, wait, hold on. The only thing we're waiting on is the anvil now. Alright, good. And we have a bunch of crude saw blades here. That should be enough to make more planks. Let's do primitive ironworks to fasteners here. I don't need fasteners to build one of these, but I just want to make sure I have some fasteners, because once this disappears, I can't build another one until the factory is complete and also has the time to run a whole anvil, which is going to take time because we don't have 100 coal or 100 of the scrap metal. We're getting almost halfway on the coal, and that's something we can continue grabbing out, but gotta have metal fasteners. Gotta let them do what they're gonna do. Food is still an absolute nightmare. Oh, I said I was gonna move that. Let's take this out of triple speed. That's going there. That can go here. These are both going to be set to... Well, I guess to start they can be set to fast mode so we can actually get something out of them without waiting 10 years. Hopefully they can get that going sooner rather than later. I know we're going to have to deprioritize all this. We're not there yet. Don't worry about it yet. Do have a little bit of sunflower oil. Need to have a storage for stuff. This is supposed to be sunflower oil. I really need to have just a medium tank for that. Not really a great spot to be putting anything over here, let me tell you. But a medium tank here would work okay. This doesn't have anything in it anyway, neither does this, so that's fine. Let's just, for the moment, get those out of there. And I'm going to have to just go ahead and... I don't I don't have the fasteners or the planks. Okay, well, we'll hold off on that, but file that one away in the back of your minds. Oh my god, this video is already an hour and 19 minutes. Oh well. It is what it is. We can only do what we can only do. At least our berries aren't dying. This seems to be doing acceptably. Still getting more of these things. Boy, oh boy. I love Waterbeavers. Don't you? At least they're finally working on getting metal fasteners done here. I think I'm gonna have to have... See, I don't even know how many. Just because it's going to take that long to get the factory to actually make stuff. But I have to have it make stuff during the temperate cycle because we might have a drought coming up again. And we're almost out of water. And prom's tomorrow. I don't even know if anyone understands that reference, but I guess... Oh, I could have had these things running, but I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go ahead and get those unpaused. And then I'm going to just uncheck... That'll get that right back. Remember, I told you I was going to have it set up correctly. So now we're all ready to go. We only have 8 unemployed beavers. And these are making fast mushrooms. There's no water. No crying necessary. It'll be back very, very soon. Because here comes cycle 17. Right on time. They're going to be crying because they don't have any water, but there's only 2 of them that are currently thirsty. So I think we can be mostly okay. Not necessarily happy, but mostly okay with how stuff is gone. Just Just is what it is. Is what it is. But here comes nice clean water. Again, this is only waiting on the anvil. I am reluctant to give it that because we have to have these metal fasteners here. And boy, is this kind of a nerve-wracking thing. Like, I feel like I have to have metal fasteners available to make other stuff. I just don't have it quite yet. Alright, they're pumping. Food is improving. They're eating all the pumpkins because I can't make anything with them because I don't have the sunflower oil. This is now rotating, which means I can actually make the oil, which means I can turn this back on, get those beavers employed. Yeah, now we just need the sunflower oil, but they can make pumpkin chips, which will, I guess, not be that great of a food. But we also have a little bit more stuff for these guys to grow. We're improving. We're improving. It's just, you know, not a quick process. And we do have nenophares going. We need 6 more to make our first batch of methane. I did say I was going to move these things around, but you know, it is what it is. I know you guys are absolutely sick of hearing me say that, but it is what it is. What do you want me to say? So we have 100 science, and I know I need to end this episode, but I did want to discuss briefly and ask you guys, do you think with that 100 science that it's better for me to go ahead and get this one single height platform, or should I save up for 125 so I can get the tall platform? I think it's better to save up for the tall platform because we already have the crappy ones we can build to get 1 high. But this specific thing I'm trying to do over here requires the tall one. I think it's better, but I will let you guys weigh in on that, so do let me know. My main concern is I don't want to have a bad tide come through and not be able to get through here. So I almost kind of want to just say, yeah, that's what we're going to do, but I like to have you guys weigh in on stuff. The library, we got to get more berries. We absolutely have to have more berries, and the beavers can't eat all of them. So I am going to turn the library back on just so the berries have somewhere to go. We do have a storage here for berries, and they will eat it if we give them the chance. We just don't necessarily want to give them that chance. We need to pause these bad water bucketing posts. That is fine there. Currently we have equilibrium on the jobs, so I guess that's okay. I guess we're doing okay. These guys will continue to get built as they have time. These are both set to slow. These are both set to fast. This is a better land use. Everything's fine. Once I have enough of these metal fasteners, I will get rid of this and we'll be able to finish. That's going to have to be very early. But, man, I just... I'm so paranoid about how this is working or not working or whatever you want to say about it. This is just stressful time. But scrap metal can't go here. What do you mean stressful time? You're playing a video game. It's fun. Look, it's fine. It's fine. It's actually fine. I'm going to put in a medium pile here for coal. Set that to receive. Medium pile here for, I guess this can be scrap metal. Probably I need to actually have that there, and then this can be for metal blocks set to supply. We're not making those yet. First recipe absolutely has to be an anvil, but before I actually build this building, I want to have the materials here at least for half of what the next anvil is going to cost. That's why I'm putting that in. Well, water seems to be recovering slowly, but still recovering. Things over here are going pretty well. I can't really be that upset about it. It just is what it is. And I feel like we've still solved, even though like things are definitely not great, we've still solved some problems that existed at the beginning of the episode that no longer are going to pose a problem to us. And we're making very slow inroads to a lot of stuff that's improved. But I have to end this episode, or else some people are going to get real mad. But I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate you supporting the series, supporting me, giving me the ability to continue doing all this fun stuff. I'm sorry we can't do more live streams. We haven't done one in like a month and a half, but the time is hard, man. Like, I thought, oh, it's going to be summertime. I'm going to have so much more time to do XYZ, and it just hasn't happened. Stuff always finds a way to fill the void. If there's any possibility for something to fill the void, it's going to come and it's like, oh, hey, now you have to take care of this, or you're doing this or that or whatever. But I do genuinely appreciate the support. I'm trying really hard to do at least a couple. but we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what I'm able to actually make happen. But again, Beard Boosters, you've seen their names a billion times, but those are the folks that make this possible without me having to say, you know what, maybe I do have to take sponsorships for mattresses or frozen food or whatever. I don't want to do that. Not on this channel. We just want to have a fun time playing games. So, whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, thanks for spending the past 86 minutes with me. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of it, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you later. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.